So now the next level stupidity on the right wing, on the right end of this, is they're going to try and feed you bullshit about some fucking blonde 20-year-old model to get your mind off of things that actually fucking matter. This is how pathetically depraved they think that you are as an audience. That they can fly a banner of some friggin' 20-year-old white girl that made a comment about jeans. It's a massive fucking distraction to get your mind off of clearly insane shit right now that's being covered up. And that if this is their attempt, if this is the best that they can do, I really pray to Jesus that people are smart enough to not get distracted by complete nonsense. So this Sydney Sweeney thing, I smelled it. I knew that they were going to try and blow this up into some kind of massive deal to get people, number one, confused, number two, angry, because the comments that were made in that commercial were clearly to rile people up and get them thinking about race issues again. So I am not going to give that any more juice. But I mentioned it, one of the first people to mention it, because I wanted to get that out of the way. That is a distraction, and it's meant to pump your head full of really bad shit too. It's the same as the porn that I've been talking about. This is all to pipe toxic shit into your brain. I don't know how to put it any more simple to you. They want to degrade you in every way. But tonight, what I'm talking to you about, holy shit balls. Oh my God, guys. You now have a literal Nazi America. This is next level. Let's just listen to what's been reported at Alligator Alcatraz.
They're torturing human beings. They're ruining the environment. They're enriching their donors by giving them these contracts. I mean, what's next? They're going to start robbing old ladies? Like, who are these people? And how does anybody support this?
I'll tell you how people can support this. It's pretty simple. It's called dehumanization campaign. And the MAGA right wing, the bad end of the MAGA right wing that is actually racist, have pushed these absolute lies about immigrants that, for the most part, they're just hardworking people that want to earn money. That's really what it comes down to. They're just being an American, really. They're trying to make money for their families back in Mexico, and they make what they can and send it back. But they have demonized this area of the populace so much that people are willing to go, oh, sure, prison camps, gulags? Why not? They're not people. That's what they're pushing.
This is sad. Sad. Hopeless. It's a type of torture.
CNN spoke with 8 detainees to hear firsthand accounts of what conditions are like on the inside.
Because of the way that we have been treated, it has been a very terrible experience.
The toilets, when it rains, they overflow, and the cells we're in fill up with sewage.
Every time it does rain in storm, the toilets clog up. Yo ya no sé cuándo es de día, cuándo es de noche, no duermo.
I no longer know when it's daytime or when it's nighttime. I don't sleep. It's affecting me mentally and physically.
Full stop. Torture. Full stop. You're done. Right there. They keep them up 24 hours a day. They will not let them sleep. That's torture. Straight. You got proof of torture right now in America, in Florida. Is anybody going to do anything about it? Yeah, good luck.
More and more details about the horrible conditions that immigrants are being subjected to inside Alligator Alcatraz are starting to come out, and it's worse than we could have imagined, because of course it is. First of all, sorry to the audience. I feel like I teased good news. That was not the good news part of this story. There is actually good news coming regarding the Florida facility. But Jank, what's your initial reaction to what we just heard from detainees in that clip?
It's horrifying that this is happening in America. Look, there's a couple of pieces of good news. The rest is all bad. Like, we're going to give you terrible details here because that's what's actually happening inside America now. And now, by the way, the right-wingers in different states are thinking of like different horrible torture chambers they can set up in their own states, right? So for those on the radical right, they love this kind of cruelty. But the American people do not like this kind of cruelty. This isn't what America, if you think this is what America stands for, you got the wrong country, brother, okay? So, but now good people are going to there to deliver people food and comfort and aid because they've heard the horrific stories. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute as well.
Okay, so let's get into the good news for once. It was reported yesterday that a federal judge ordered a halt to any construction at Alligator Alcatraz for environmental reasons. So this is a reporting. It says that Florida must stop construction at an immigration detention center in the remote Everglades for 14 days. A federal judge ruled on Thursday, granting at least a temporary victory to environmentalists who say the facility has the potential to cause serious harm to sensitive wetlands and endangered species. So this means that the state cannot install any more lighting, paving, fencing, or any other infrastructure for 2 weeks. So here's more. Thursday's order was issued by U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams with the Southern District of Florida in a lawsuit filed by Friends of the Everglades and Centers for
Southern District of Florida. Are they down there with fucking Jack Crooner? Can we make Jack Crooner president? Do you realize that you have a fucking Nazi-style concentration camp in Florida? And they're actively right now torturing Browns. And what, you're just going to go to work tomorrow like it's normal? Everything's normal. We are 1940s Germany. You have a concentration camp in Florida. Wake the fuck up.
Biological diversity in June. The Miccosukee tribe's request to intervene was granted a month later. The complaint argued that the detention center threatens the fragile ecosystem of the Everglades, including multiple endangered species.
Look, this is a distress call from an American. Can I just do this? Because no one else is doing it. Not even TYT. Can I give a distress call from the United States of America that we have Hitler as president? Could some nation please do something to help this country because its leadership will not remove something that's really bad? Can I put it in Trump terms for fucking morons out there? Our government is really bad. The UN should step in this country now. We have a concentration camp operating in Florida.
Violated federal law by failing to pass an environmental review, did not allow the public opportunity to comment, threatens to undermine or reverse billions of dollars worth of Everglades restoration work, and improperly.
See, I shouldn't comment on issues until I look up the position of the person I'm about to speak of. But can I ask Alex Jones what he thinks of Alligator Alcatraz? What do you think about that place, Alex? Do you think that that's a good thing that America should engage in? Oh, wait a minute. Weren't you the guy that telling us about FEMA camps? Alex, back in the day? The hell, they're going to use them for American concentration camps, folks. Holy shit. Oh, but it's your guy. I hope you're turning fully, Alex, because you need to battle this. This is everything you stood against. What's happening right now?
Converted county preserve land into a federal detention facility. So while DeSantis has insisted that there wouldn't be any sort of environmental impact, environmental groups have stated that that was obviously impossible because of vehicle traffic bringing in food and water and machinery and construction and numerous generators running and waste collection Granted, it doesn't seem like the first and last bullet that I just mentioned are actually being done. So the increased light pollution from a rarely used airstrip to an operational detention facility with thousands of detainees and staff present is another concern, as it can disrupt local species used to natural daylight and nighttime cycles, like the nocturnal Florida panther and endangered species known to be present in the area. Now the facility will still remain open and operational, but it's so that
all due to you know, the beautiful Yasmin here. She looks like Jasmine from fucking Aladdin, literally. All due respect to her, the environmental issues are secondary to the fact that you have a concentration camp in America. Okay? We should not... Okay, we could care about the wildlife and everything, I agree. I love animals, I love ecosystems to be beautiful and natural and everything they should be. But there's a fucking concentration camp there. You should be screaming that.
at least a small step in the right direction in an effort to shut down the facility eventually. So now I have to tell you the bad news. We're going to get into more details about what is coming out from the detainees who are currently in Alligator Alcatraz. Here is what is going on inside the walls. One detainee who is a Cuban national told reporters it's only a matter of time before people begin dying in custody at the hands of inexperienced and power-hungry guards. They said this has to come out one way or another because they're going.
Oh, you know what they did, folks? They got all those deep South Florida good old boys, didn't they? Oh, I get to abuse some Browns. Ah, sign me up. Look, if you are not in the full mindset of revolt in this country now, you're dead. You're spiritually dead and you're blind. If you're okay with what you know is going on there, that's going on there, and you're okay with it, you are not American. Do we need to do a basic review on what this country was founded on? Other than white men and property. Because I admit that. I got these fucking blue bobas. And they're... This is PA bath. This is PA water. Oh, I can show you. I have to show you it. I got these fucking bobas. And they're slimy. They're half slimy. But you could... Can you see the bobas? I'm not getting Sheets boba again. They're like slimy. Anyway. What do we do? Now I'm asking, not what rhetorically we can do. I'm asking physically. What can we do to change what's happening in the country now? We knew we had a racist Hitler-type president, but we didn't know that he would actually start marching this out as an agenda. You're living in 1940s Germany, and the Jews are Mexicans, basically. I'm sure they're imprisoning all kinds of minorities, not just Mexicans. Okay, Hispanic people. I'm sure they're imprisoning Arabs and every minority you could imagine that they love to dream about doing what they did in Abu Ghraib to these people. We have to do something now. We have to collectively stand up as a country and say, no, we're not going to have Nazi Germany Part 2, because you already have it now. Do you know what they call this place? The official name of this facility? They call it Chrome with a K. That just in my spirit feels really fucking weird. Why are they calling it Chrome? So there's war crimes happening on the soil here. You are now in official war crime country, right along with Israel.
To kill us here, little by little. No one pays attention to us. I've been here for 30 days, seeing injustice and mistreatment. It doesn't stop. They abuse us in every way, with the food, in the bathroom, everything. They touch us all, our groins, our rears, to see if we've brought cookies, a little piece of fries, and they take it. They search us. They touch us a lot. They search and touch our whole body.
They're also molesting them. There you go. You got it. This is a testimony. Cuban national. What? There's a Cuban national being held in this place, and he's saying they are molesting us too. They touch our crotches. They touch everything on us. Holy fucking shit, do something.
In a weird way, we feel violated. I feel violated. So he's not the only person this week to speak out about the conditions either. Earlier this week, NBC6 Miami spoke to Lindsay, who is a former employee at the facility, who described it as inhumane. She said, "It's inhumane the way that they're keeping the residents," said Lindsay, who provided NBC6 paperwork showing she had started work on July 6th, her state certification as a corrections officer, and her contract with Garda World Federal Services, a security company that was awarded a contract worth nearly
Now, on a completely personal note, my novel, the guy that ends up being like, his name's Zonfer, the guy that ends up being the one world dictator leader, his company was a contract, a self-defense, a defense contractor company. The people that run this shit are the most evil, I think, probably, on the planet, aside from the bankers. These mercenaries that take money for kidnapping people, and they're in it for money. That's all they care about. It has nothing to do with... They treat people literally like merchandise. Okay? They're into torture. And that's what you have now, federal. This is federal government doing this in this federal prison camp in Florida. If you don't see that you're in Nazi Germany, then you're blind. And we need to do something now. I don't know what, but we all collectively have to either go protest. We got to set up protests saying, let's make hashtags. What's the hashtag going to be? Hashtag no Nazi America. This is unbelievable. You have an open prison camp.
$38 million for staffing at the ICE facility. They have no sunlight. There is no clock in there. They don't even know what time of day it is. They have no access to showers. They shower every other day or every 4 days. The bathrooms are backed up because you got so many people using them. So while she explained the conditions for the staff were also very rough, she expressed extreme empathy for the detainees, who noted many of them were not even criminals, right? These are just normal people that the Trump administration has decided to lock up in this facility. Lindsay was fired pretty quickly after catching COVID 1 week into the job and having to isolate. She says they accused her of altering medical paperwork submitted to the company, which she denies, but she also said, these people are still human. They pulled them from their livelihood. They're scared. They don't speak our language. I was fired, and yeah, I'm pissed off, but more so than ever, like, they're doing wrong. Okay. And yet, despite all of this, a disaster, like a sister facility to Alligator Alcatraz is about to open. So Kristi Noem just posted this on X saying, coming soon to Indiana, the Speedway Slammer. Today, we're announcing a new partnership with the state of Indiana to expand detention bed space by 1,000 beds, thanks to Governor Braun for his partnership to help remove the worst of the worst.
The hell is with Kristi Noem's avatar there? What is that deal? Is that a South Park? She made her fucking avatar an actual South Park thing. Oh, they're just trying to judo it. Oh, you're going to make fun of our administration? Well, I'm going to use a South Park avatar of myself. They're children. They're such fucking pathetic children, this fucking administration. And they'd be a joke if they weren't open Nazi. I mean, I can't believe that people aren't saying more in the public. I should walk down the street and hear somebody go, can you believe the bullshit of this country? Everybody should be saying it. You live in an open Nazi country.
Out of our country. If you are in America illegally, you could find yourself in Indiana's Speedway Slammer. Avoid arrest and self-deport now using our app. And I also noticed there that she changed her profile picture to the South Park version of her, really trying to lean into the criticism and, pretend like it doesn't bother them. Maz, we'll start with you. That was a lot that we just covered. There is some good stuff that happened there. They're pausing any further construction because obviously it's going to disrupt the Everglades. There's a very sensitive ecosystem there. It's unique in this country and probably maybe even around the world. And you can't build a giant facility like that in the middle of the Everglades and then pretend that it's not going to have any kind of adverse effects on the water, on the wetlands, on the animals that.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, all due respect again to her. Stop bringing up the fucking cocksucking environment when there are people being tortured in the fucking building. Okay? We can worry about the wildlife after we stop torturing brown people in the facility and molesting them. I can't believe this shit. I gotta get out of this country. There's no way I can live in this country and not do something about this. How can you fucking, it's normal life for me. I have to go to work in the morning, so I can't care about this. You better wake the fuck up. That's exactly what the people in Nazi Germany were saying. Well, I gotta go to work in the morning. I can't worry about what Hitler's doing.
Lives there, and the way that they're treating the people is already so inhumane. Then obviously they don't care about things like the trees or the panthers. So like, of course they're going to fight back and they're going to say, this isn't a real problem. DeSantis already said that it wasn't going to affect that, which none of it makes any sense. But then on top of that, the revelations that have just come out about like the inappropriate touching and everything going on inside of Alligator Alcatraz right now. I don't even like saying that because it sounds like such a stupid name, but it is just so much worse than what we thought was going on and could have been happening. Just like the access to people's bodies. It's hard to wrap your head around and you don't want to. And then on top of everything, you remember that your tax dollars are funding this thing. And it is all so infuriating. Maz, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's great. No, I mean, who are these people? Like,
so on top of it, you not only have the knowledge that this is happening in your country, but you know that your money, the money that you pay them in taxes, is paying for it. They are making us all satanic worshipers by our money and giving them our money. Because this is satanic. This is satanic ritual abuse, the type of stuff that they're subjecting these people to in this prison camp. It's satanic ritual abuse. So they're making us all Satanists. I say no. No way. Fuck you.
how bad of a human being do you have to be? I mean, the irony is you've got guys like DeSantis claiming that he's a Christian. So yeah, sure, Christians do this kind of stuff to other people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so fucking Christian to imprison Browns and rape and torture them. This is Christian. Of course it is. Look at the Vatican. See, that's what the world would say and they'd be correct. Isn't that horrible? That the one institution in the world that's supposed to be the biggest to represent Christianity, which is the Catholic Church, engaged in horrible mutilation of women and men. They engaged in absolute torture and war crimes, what we would consider massive fucking war crimes. The one institution that's brought up for everything in Christianity is the Vatican. Oh, isn't that fucking grand? Starvation, rape, and torture, and conquest. Oh, that's what Jesus Christ stood for. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ went to the Philistines. He went to the dredges of society. Do you know who he went to? He went to the Palestinians that are living in the West Bank right now. He went to the Gazans and said, your kingdom is my kingdom because you're the least. And I'm here to lift you up. That's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ in the Bible went into the money changers in the fucking temple and said, you are all fucking sacks of shit and get out now of my Father's house. You're thieves and liars and hypocrites, every one of you. You shut the door to heaven while you're not getting in yourself. You're whitewashed sepulchres with no truth in your mouth. That's what Jesus said. Jesus would say that straight to the Pope's face. I don't care if Leo might be a nice guy. I'm never convinced of that. They always put out these flowery words to look like good guys, and then they turn out to be demons. You want to ask me about Pope Francis, and he cursed that Chinese woman that was from Wuhan, the province where COVID came from? You know where I think COVID really came from? It was a fucking disease judgment from the Creator, because the representative, quote unquote, of Christianity, the vicar of Christ, quote unquote, Antichrist, the Pope, went to a little woman that was asking for prayer for her town where COVID came from, and he cursed her. Oh, the peasants. Jesus Christ would go to the Pope and spit in his face and say that your office is evil. And don't even fucking think of coming in here if you're a Calvinist and going, well, that's why there's Protestants. The Protestants burnt women at the stake that they thought were too provocative for their eyes. Oh, she's a witch. Done. Why? Well, she's pretty fucking hot and I'm married and I don't want to be tempted. So she is a fucking heretic against Jesus Christ. Burner. That's what the Protestants did. So are our hands clean? No. All of the churches on earth are dog shit, spit in Satan's mouth. That's how bad the churches are. What did Joel Osteen do in a hurricane? Did he open up his church? And he does regret this now. I give that to him. That he regrets it at least. Good job there, Joel. What did he do? He shut his doors and said, we got to button down the hatches, folks. I can't do nothing for you right now. I got to button down my hatches. Yeah, the Lord Jesus spit you out of his mouth, Joel, for that. Okay? We all fall short of the grace and glory of Jesus. Yes. But when you do open shit like that, when you're supposed to be a Christian organization, and you shut the doors to the needy, you're fucked. You are decimated by the Creator for good reason. It's not for no reason. I'm going to finish this up.
These are the worst of the worst, and I'm talking about Trump on down. Think about it. They're torturing human beings. They're ruining the environment. They're enriching their donors by giving them these contracts. I mean, what's next? They're going to start robbing old ladies? Like, who are these people? And
they already are putting in legislation to make it illegal to be homeless. Fuck this shit. In Trump's America, you better have a functioning bank account, debit card. You better have a fucking positive balance in that bank account. And I'm going to tell you right now, you better be white. Okay? Trump's America, you better know the default. Because if you don't fall within our defaults, then you're no longer a fucking American. You know that paper, that piece of paper called the Constitution? Well, that's to be interpreted in the way that the Führer thinks it should be. And the Führer says, if you're in need, you can fucking suck a dick if you're in need. We are going to criminalize homelessness. If we can't get the rabble off the street by making them work slave jobs, then we're going to fucking put them in a prison camp, molest them, rape them, torture them, and kill them. That's Trump's America. And I'm sorry, but any moron that actually voted for him, you deserve the judgment of God for every single thing that's coming. Because you did make his win big enough. I think they stole it from Kamala. I've seen evidence of it. Why won't they take this shit to court? Do you realize that everybody that loved Kamala was saying, holy shit, there's very good evidence that this was stolen from you. And she just dropped it. Oh my God. I don't think she even gave a concession speech. Kamala Harris was derelict in duty completely as a Democrat candidate. She should have said, I'm a registered fucking Republican, and I voted for her. Like, once again, not because I liked her. I voted for the matriarchy. We need more female leaders because they're awesome. Filled with compassion. Not Hillary Clinton, though. But I was willing to vote for Kamala. I was willing to vote for something that's very, I would say, different for the country. Let's see what would happen. That's more positive than Orange Hitler creating concentration camps, and now you got one for real. Hey, Alex, what are you going to call Alligator Alcatraz a fucking torture chamber? A mainland Guantanamo Bay that's torturing people? Could we please call that out? Or was your entire career just bullshit? If you don't call this out now, Alex, then your entire career was bullshit. Because the real shit is hitting the fan, and you're going to eat the shit at the table? I had a lot of faith. I guess my faith was not well-founded. You got to completely turn from this administration. It's fascist Nazi administration, totalitarian administration. That's what you have. It's a regime. It's accurate when Meisalis, instead of calling it the Trump administration, they call it the Trump regime, Midas touch. That's what it is. It's not an administration. An administration plays by the rules of our system and tries to improve everything for everybody. That's a positive party. That would be a positive party. They work within the system of the bullshit. I say blow apart the whole system and start from scratch. The only thing we keep is the Constitution. That's the only thing we keep. Everything else goes out in the trash. You throw out every congressman. You throw them all out. You have new elections. You end the Federal Reserve. This is how you rehab the country to coming back into some semblance of what we used to be. You end career politics, which means you have term limits always for the Senate and the House. You get a max of 4 or 8 year term. That's you take a vote on that one. If it's 4 or 8 years, you no longer can live off the tit of America, because that's what this is now. These senators live high on the fucking hog with stock options, with insider trading, making millions of dollars, and you're a little peon piece of fucking shit that pays your taxes and you barely can feed yourself. We need to blow the system up and make the bottom the top. Do you get it? The pyramid needs to be flipped.
How does anybody support this? And I know how people support this is because they've been lying from day one. Donald Trump famously during the campaign kept saying there's 10 million violent criminals, then there's 20 million. He just kept saying all these violent criminals. Find out there aren't that many violent criminals that are not citizens. We probably have more. We have more citizen violent criminals. And even if they are criminals, they are not getting their due process. They shouldn't be in this kind of America is supposed to be standing for something. This is like the Abu Ghraib of Florida, rather than.
Holy shit! I have not listened to this video, and I said I brought up Abu Ghraib. He brought it up. That's the comparisons you're going to get. We have now a domestic Abu Ghraib prison. What do you think they're going to do with that prison camp at the end, at the very end? What do you think they're going to do with it? They're going to have Nephilim creatures. I'm not kidding you. If you want to hear the testimony of Ken Peters every day, it feels like his dreams are starting to manifest. Look up Ken Peters, I Saw the Tribulation. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, or it might be way longer than that, I can't remember. But it's his dream about when the Antichrist system is fully in place. They have a Nephilim creature with a hood on his head, and he's got a massive fucking scimitar. And you're getting beheaded. When the culling, the true culling comes, that's what it's going to be. And I think that's probably the time of the silence in heaven, that everybody's watching the execution of the real Christians and the real believers in God. So if you're a real believer and you're going to keep your faith, just know that you're going to be seeing probably the sharp end of a scimitar at the end of this. But Jesus is king. It don't matter. He's going to eviscerate them in quick.
Alligator Alcatraz. How about alligator Abu Ghraib? Because that's what it is, or Abu Ghraib. It's just it's embarrassing. It's inhumane. We've lost our compass. Like where we're like, what does America become when you see this stuff? And the fact that nobody on the right is following the money and going, oh, they're enriching their donors and themselves by creating this. Because again, going back to the campaign, we're going to deport this many, we're going to deport that many. Never talked about what's actually going to have to happen, which is we're going to have to send ICE agents into the streets. And then where are we going to keep these people? Are you just going to just put them on a plane and send them? No, you're going to put them into these concentration camps. And now you got your Speedway, what is she calling it? Speedway something or other?
Slammer.
What's that?
The Speedway Slammer in Indiana.
Speedway Slammer. Like they got great names, you know. This is the jail of
the Speedway Slammer. I get. So there are multiple of these places now. There's not just one. It's not just Alligator Alcatraz. There's one in Indiana. Oh my fucking God. They are setting up your ovens right in the same country you live for you to die in. And I'll have some idiot come to me and say to me, this is normal. We'll finish up the video. I can't.
La Jolla or whatever. Just idiotic, stupid, and they bask in it. And I hope Christy Nome does put that picture of herself on her Twitter because it actually looks better than she is.
Yeah. So, guys, you know, Maz asked them, what are they going to do next? Like, rob little old ladies or maybe shoot puppies? Oh, right. Christy Nome did shoot puppies. And then she got the Department of Homeland Security job afterwards, after we all knew.
Miss Little Christy Noem shot puppies. Well, isn't that beautiful, isn't it, folks? Our country is a disgusting disgrace of what it was.
Well, why do you hire someone like that? For the cruelty. Not despite the cruelty, but because of the cruelty. Oh, she's willing to shoot innocent little puppies? Perfect. We'll get her to brutalize human beings. The cruelty is growing and growing. And this isn't cute. So now 5 other states are going to do it. And I'm sure they're all going to have stupid, goofy names. Like,
did you hear that? Okay, I'm glad I decided to finish this out. Did you actually just hear that? 5 other states are going to have Alligator Alcatraz style places. I want you to know from my mouth straight that these are extermination camps. I believe the plan is for them to drop those nukes. I don't know if it's going to be one. I think they only need one. They just drop one nuke in New York and it's over. They're going to have martial law in the country and they're going to start marching in the undesirable people that they don't like to and executing them at these facilities. Mark my words. You are in the tribulation. The movie The Purge is about the tribulation. And they're going to execute most of us.
Saying the Texas, Mississippi, South Carolina are among the states, the Carolina catastrophe, the Texas torture chamber. By the way, those haven't come out yet, and I'm afraid of giving them ideas. And if you
trademark it.
Right, if you're in the part of MAGA that thinks that, oh my God, the Texas torture chamber sounds so amazing, you have no idea what kind of bubble you're in. The rest of the country does not.
I'll tell them what kind of bubble they're in, Jank. They're going to hell. You won't say that because you're a fucking atheist. Do you realize how clear it is that God exists, Jank? Do you know that there's no Big Bang without a creator? Science says you need a prime mover. You must have a prime mover. And the only thing that could have moved that, Jank, was the creator creating. No other force can just activate itself in nature. Okay? It's 100% you have a God. So you better start preaching God when you come to him, Jank. It's time to do that. There's no hope with humanity. Fuck me. We've seen enough years of this bullshit leadership that it's not going to change with regular human beings. Never. We need Jesus Christ the Messiah, bro. That's it right here, Jesus. This is what the world needs now is this. The just, righteous king that earned it with his blood. We need him so bad, it's insane. And I just pray for his coming as soon as possible. Because you have American concentration camps now. What's the deal?
Think torture chambers sound awesome or American, okay? And the polling seems to be indicating that. We are asking you guys, do you think this cruelty towards immigrants is going to backfire on Donald Trump? We're asking that in the live chat, shows live 6 to 8 p.m.
It's hard to believe it will. Why? Because they have programmed their audience into being horribly racist xenophobes, and they don't even see it. Oh, I'm not racist. I just want secure borders from terrorists, and I don't want too many American jobs being taken. And both of those issues are dealt with a normal open border, that it's not just people running through like Obama years. Obama years was insane. And there are probably countless Iranian sleeper cell terror groups waiting to activate. They're just waiting for the right time. When America is back on its heels from something, boom, they'll have the Iran will put the orders in with the sleeper cells, and it's over. You're gonna have bombs going off and fucking maybe chemical, biological warfare, all kinds of. I'm telling you, the shit that I heard for the time that I did the radio show, because I was almost I was talking to some intelligence people. I'll tell you that. Because I ain't in the government, so I don't need to shut up. I was talking to intelligence guys, and I'm telling you that these fucking sleeper cells probably have anthrax type shit. Suitcase nukes. They were working with Russia. Iran's been working with Russia for years. And Russia has on record suitcase nukes. They slipped shit like that through the border, guaranteed, when Obama was president. It was open borders with Obama. That is true. That is not a Republican talking point to diss Obama. That was the truth. We had ICE agents calling the show saying that there's so many people coming through the border, it's a literal invasion. And it was military age men, mostly Arab. Okay, you're fucked. They're going to pull a trigger that's so chaotic that they're going to have martial law in the country, and they're going to start executing people. That's where it's going, I'm telling you.
Monday through Friday, and 67% think it's going to backfire. In the polling so far, it is backfiring. The American people, just like, look, Rogan said it, and a lot of people are saying it, but I think that he nailed it on this one. And as he's one of those podcasters that went to Trump, but had earlier supported Bernie, so they are actually, in my opinion, independent. They lean right for sure, right? But when it comes to this issue, he said, look, we signed up for getting rid of undocumented criminals, as Moss was talking about. We signed up for closing the border. We didn't sign up for gratuitous cruelty and make us all look like jerks and terrible people and abuse folks, etc. And since they don't have...
Exactly, and that's where I'll leave it with Cenk, because it's perfect. Look, you're in a Nazi state now. You have 5 states more, aside from Florida, that are going to put facilities like Alligator Alcatraz in their state. You are living now in the prison planet. And it's just before the gates come down. Because when all the shit goes down, you're not going to be able to get on a flight. They're going to shut the country down. So if you want to get out, it's time to get out. They're going to pull a big lever, and these other 5 facilities are going to activate at the same time, and they're going to start executing people. I'm telling you, that's where it's going. Lord Jesus, help us. Maranatha.